Hey guys, welcome back to At the Table. Sydney here, and today we're going to be talking all about seafood. So I went to a conference recently, and there was a program that some of the agents have done in the eastern part of the state, and it was focused on seafood. It's called Hooked on Seafood. We're obviously in eastern North Carolina. We might not be directly by an ocean, but we're not far from a water source, right? So you can drive maybe an hour, maybe a little bit past an hour, and get right to the ocean. We have access to fresh seafood. We've had Tyndall's come on before and do a show with us talking all about seafood, so you can get that fresh local here in Clinton. And he does, I believe he goes out and fishes himself and catches fresh seafood. So we're going to be making two different recipes today and just talk a little bit about the benefits of seafood and different things you can do with seafood. And these both recipes are very quick and easy, which I'm all about. So one is a foil packet fish, and you can use pretty much any fish for this. We will be using flounder today because it's just what I had on hand. But typically probably a whitefish is what we're aiming for, just for these specific packets for how long it will take for them to cook. Salmon still would be great in this, even trout, things like that would also be great options. So we'll be starting with that recipe, and then we have a crab cake recipe we'll be doing next, which we'll talk a little bit more about canned seafood and those options once we get over to that recipe. So what we're going to start with is we have a couple vegetables we've got to chop up. So we're going to do that first, and this will just help us to have, a well-rounded meal. So for our packets, you're going to do about 2 cups of vegetables total. So that's about half a cup of vegetables per packet. And you can choose any vegetables you like. So this recipe that you're getting is just extremely versatile. I mean, it has even up to the seasonings. Any seasonings you like, any vinegar, oil, whatever of that nature that you enjoy. So extremely versatile. You do what you like. Also, when we're talking about our chopping of our vegetables, again, think of what you're going to be doing with this recipe. So if you're just going to be eating the fish and the vegetables by itself, maybe you do want them in these larger pieces like what I have here, just kind of like these half moon circles. Or you can chop it up a little bit. They'll be smaller. They'll cook a little bit faster. So also keep that in mind. If you have really thick pieces of vegetables, let's say you decided to do baby carrots, it's going to take those a lot longer to cook. Our recipe only calls for this to cook for about 10 to 12 minutes because fish is very quick cooking. So that is a benefit to using it, especially during the week when maybe you're a little bit more strapped for time. But I'm going to chop mine up a little bit further because I do want my vegetables to be a little bit more cooked through, and it will still have plenty of crunch, I think, with it, but this way it won't be quite as large, it won't take quite as long. So just roughly chopped those, and that's probably about a cup, honestly, with this. So I'm going to do zucchini. I bought a green pepper. I think I'm going to skip the green bell pepper. I just think I'd rather have zucchini and carrots. Like I said, this is versatile. This is up to you. You make it how you want. So if you were doing, I think a red bell pepper would be even better in this. The green ones were just on sale at the grocery store, so we just went with what our cheaper option is. And then we have an onion as well. And the onion is separate from your cups of mixed vegetables because our onions do help to provide a good amount of flavor that we don't just get all the time. Now, depending on your family, you could decide how much to chop this up. You can omit the onion and do onion powder if you just have picky toddlers that see an onion and won't eat it because there's an onion in it. I'm experiencing that. So you could do onion powder, it's fine. But I like to use fresh onion if I can for flavor and just health benefits. This is considered one of our white vegetables, so it is a vegetable. So I'm just kind of roughly chopping this up. And the great thing about this is it's an easy way for us to make a meal if you go camping a lot. The packet meals are awesome. They are very easy to do. You can do, if you don't like seafood, you could do other stuff as well. But it's a great way to get an easy recipe done quickly. I also would probably add a little bit of rice to this so that it would be more of a well-rounded meal. So just gonna stir this up, and then whenever you come back, I'll have our flounder all put out and we'll start making our foil packets.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
Hey guys, welcome back. So I have our fish in our foil packets. Vegetables are all mixed up. I'm gonna just cut a few slices of lemon here and we'll lay that on top. If you don't have lemon or you wanna just do lemon juice, that's fine too. But I like a fresh lemon. It makes it look pretty as well. So we're gonna add in our vegetables and we're just gonna spoon this around. I ended up having about 3 pieces of fish. One was just really tiny, and then I've got these over here that are really big, so I just stuck the one that was a little small into another packet. But you could also just cut the really big one and make 4 out of this if you needed to. So I'm just putting about half a cup of vegetables around each fish fillet. What we'll end up doing is just, wrapping it all up. Ooh. So this fish was technically in the refrigerated section of, well, I used all those vegetables, of Food Line. I just went to Food Line. That's where we were able to shop. And it was technically fresh. It's in the fresh section. However, most of the time, whenever you are buying fish like that, it is typically frozen first. So transportation, when they're transporting it, a lot of times, just like our vegetables, when you buy frozen vegetables, they're typically flash frozen, right? Same thing can happen with our fish. So it might be flash frozen whenever it is caught. And, people kind of are against, some people can be against freezing your fish. But the benefit of freezing, some fish actually need to be frozen to reduce any type of microorganisms or bacterial growth that could potentially be, the fish could have been exposed to. And sometimes that freezing aspect can help to kill those microorganisms. So some fish do require to be flash frozen, but most of the fish that you're buying at a grocery store is gonna have been frozen at some point. Now, I will agree, people are like, well, fresh just tastes so much better. I am very sensitive when it comes to certain fish, and I do feel like some fish taste more fishy when you buy it from the freezer section than the fresh area of the grocery store. For instance, salmon is one that for me, I just feel like whenever I buy it fresh, it just tastes so much better. Anytime I buy it frozen, I can taste that really fishy flavor. So if you're somebody who's kind of against seafood or feels like seafood can be too fishy, try it that way as well. Try to see if you buy it fresh, or maybe it will kind of reduce that flavor. Now, if you get your fish from a fishmonger, somebody who sells fish themselves, then typically that could be a fresh, like never frozen fish. But as I said, some fish does require freezing to start with. So that would be a great time for you to discuss that with your fishmonger and ask them those questions. I know at Tyndall's specifically, you can ask them all different kinds of questions. They also will scale the fish and do all of the kind of gross parts of working with fresh fish that maybe you might not want to do at home. So you can have them do some of that as well. So I'm just adding a little bit of seasoning. So I did a little bit of Italian vinaigrette on each of these. And then I also did a little basil, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. I just picked flavors I enjoy. This is a light fish. All of those flavors go really good with a light fish. So if you like kind of more of a bold seasoning or more of a spicy seasoning, something like that, you could absolutely go with like a chili powder, paprika, things like that. I did not add any salt and pepper to this. I would think that would kind of be to taste. So it's fine. We'll go without it today. And if people want it on their fish later, they can add it at the table. So I'm just folding these so that the bottom is sealed and doing my best at the top. Like I said, these pieces of fish were kind of big. So my fold job is a little off, but your goal here is just to fold it up and try to trap everything inside. And you want to do your best to seal it. That way it will create steam. These are technically steam packets, and it's basically going to steam everything that is inside of this foil packet. So you do want to make sure that it is pretty well sealed off so that that steam can do what it's supposed to do while it's in the oven. All right, and I like to use some type of pan. So this is optional. Some people put it straight on top of a fire. If you're going camping, straight into the oven on the oven racks, just in case anything leaks out, because that can happen. I like to put it on a pan. I have had it leak out. There's a lot of juices going on in here, so that can happen. So just to kind of protect your oven, use a little pan, it's fine. It'll still do everything it's supposed to do. So I've got the oven on 400. I'm gonna throw this into the oven. It says about 10 to 20 minutes. So I think we're gonna go with 12 just because of the size of these fish. We'll check it and see how it looks afterwards. We'll go take a quick break, and then we're gonna go over and make some crab cakes.
Ready to turn your creativity into a career? At Bladen Community College's Cosmetology Department, we're shaping the future of beauty one student at a time. From hairstyling and makeup to skincare and nails, you'll gain hands-on experience with real clients, expert instructors, and industry tools. Your career-focused degree or certificate in cosmetology is waiting. Learn more at bladencc.edu or give us a call to get started today.
Computer viruses, malware, and ransomware are out there. They're dangerous, and they can steal your identity and damage your equipment. Star Communications is now offering Protect IQ. This service adds an extra layer of protection to every device connected to your network, working quietly in the background. Star can help you protect yourself from the inside out with Protect IQ. Call Star today and take advantage of this free service when you sign up for whole home Wi-Fi with Star Communications.
Hey guys, welcome back. So our foil fish is in the oven, and we're gonna work next on these crab cakes. So what we're gonna be using over here This is a really easy recipe. If you've ever made crab cakes, they're pretty simple. There's not too much that goes with them, but we're using canned crab today just for ease, versatility, affordability, all of those wonderful things. So canned is a great option when we are thinking about seafood. A lot of people, that's the #1 complaint is seafood costs a lot of money. I don't have the money to buy seafood. But actually, if you do the canned option, very affordable, you still get all of the same health benefits. You get the same protein, you get the same different micronutrients that we're thinking about, your B12. Some fish does also contain choline, which is good for your brain. When you're growing a baby, it's good for a baby's spinal cord and brain. So you're good for all of us. And then iron is also in seafood. So some of our other B vitamins. So lots of benefits to eating seafood in general, and you can do that canned or fresh, whatever is most affordable to you. The other, of course, aspect is that we want to consider taste. So we want to make sure, of course, that our taste is good, that you enjoy it, the flavor of it. So sometimes for people, canned may be a little bit more fishy, but I feel like whenever you're using it like this, where we're, adding it to our crab cakes and you've kind of got a lot of other flavors going on, it really does help kind of cut some of that fishy flavor. So we're just gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise. This is about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. And then we're gonna do just a little ground pepper, about 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm just gonna eyeball that. Looks good to me. And a lemon juiced. So I have my little juicer over here, and I'm just gonna put it on and try to get all of those seeds out. The manual ones are really great for this, so you don't have quite the issue, but I do feel like these kind of get more juice out than the manual kind. All right, try to catch all those seeds. There went one. Looks good. And that lemon, of course, helps to cut some of that fishy flavor if you are kind of sensitive to the fishiness. Got 2 that snuck in there. All right, and then we have just a few other ingredients to help boost some flavor. So we've got hot sauce here. We're only doing about 1/8 of a teaspoon of hot sauce. So this is really more personal preference to what sounds good to you. That was probably more like 1/4 of a teaspoon, but I feel like it doesn't look overly spicy. And if it is a little extra hot, we'll enjoy it. My family will enjoy it. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we're just gonna stir all of that up and then add in some breadcrumbs. And we'll form our patties next. That was a really big lemon that we used as well. Okay, so we need about 3/4 of a cup of panko. Total, we're gonna use 1.5 cups. We're gonna coat our patties in the panko as well. So I think that's pretty good. That's about half of what I needed. And I will mix it all together. And it says, form the patties and put them in the fridge for 1 hour. We haven't got that kind of time today, y'all. So we're gonna form our patties, and maybe I'll let them sit in the fridge for just a few minutes. And then when we come back, we'll coat them and all of that. So like I said, this is the benefit of this is it is more of an easy recipe. that doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients or time to make. So I did see whenever I was shopping, I was kind of comparing the canned versus the refrigerated crab meat because they did have both. And really, I felt like the canned still ended up being more affordable. The refrigerated was it was pretty expensive. So if you are considering cost and that is an issue for you, just keep that in mind. That might be a better option to just buy the canned, unless you just enjoy the refrigerated. So I'm gonna get these in, excuse me, in the fridge, and we'll come back in just 1 second.
If you're a small business owner or prospective entrepreneur, the Bladen Community College Small Business Center is here to help you. They offer free seminars to help you start or grow your existing business, and one-on-one counseling and assistance is available if needed. They can also provide you with community and statewide resources. Best of all of these services are free. Let the Bladen Community College Small Business Center help you turn your dreams into reality. Contact the Bladen Community College Small Business Center today.
When we're connected, American communities thrive. As the internet connects more Americans every year, access to robust and reliable broadband is more important than ever for rural communities. The Universal Service Fund enables affordable, high-quality broadband, improves healthcare outcomes with access to telehealth options, gives children the education for a bright future, and allows business growth and job creation. The Universal Service Fund is expanding and sustaining connectivity for all, because when we're connected, America thrives.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we have our crab cakes all formed. I did add a little bit more panko. I put them back in the bowl and had to add some more panko because to me they were just way too wet. This recipe, like I said before, does require you to put it in the refrigerator for about an hour. That will help it to kind of gel up and form a better patty for you. But we don't have a lot of that time today. And I really still feel like it shouldn't have been that soupy. So I drained my crab meat. I did all the things. I don't know if I just had a really big lemon, but little extra breadcrumbs, if that happens to you, easy peasy, should fix the problem. What I'm gonna do next, our recipe says to put it on a plate and kind of lay your crab cakes in there. I'm just gonna sprinkle on top because it's just easier, less picking up and putting back down for me. I did just add a little bit of salt and pepper into my breadcrumbs here. And I'm just gonna, like I said, sprinkle. I already sprinkled the other side while we were on break. So we're just kind of breading the entire crab cake because you want it to cook up really nicely, brown really nicely in your pan whenever we go to pan fry these. Now we are using, I just did a little bit of olive oil in my pan, and I do have my pan. I did turn it down to low because it was getting a little hot. I'm gonna turn it back up to a little medium low just because this stovetop gets more on the hot side. So carefully pick that up. You can already tell how much easier it is for me to hold this than it was earlier. And I'm gonna spread your oil throughout and just lay your crab cake down. And the recipe says it makes anywhere from 4 to 6 crab cakes, just depends on the size of your cakes. I didn't have quite 2 cups of crab meat that it called for. I just used 2 cans, which does not equal 2 cups. But we still got 5 really decent sized crab cakes here. And I think I can probably fit 3 into my bowl. Now, as far as your different cooking methods for your crab cakes, when we're talking about seafood, a lot of people think about health benefits of seafood, right? Seafood's a healthier choice, leaner meat. Of course, we do that Med Instead of Meds program that we offer here at the Extension office. And we promote a lot of seafood. So this program really goes well with the Med Instead of Meds program that we offer. to help promote eating more seafood, because that's a big part. Mainly fruits and vegetables are the biggest part of the Mediterranean diet, but including more seafood or fish in general, into your diet is a big part of the Mediterranean diet and the Mediterranean way of life. So finding different ways that you can do that. These two methods we did today are, I would say, well, this is not non-traditional, but the foil packet's a little bit more non-traditional of what we would think about first thought of a cooking method. Pan frying is a great option. We're using a little bit of oil, probably about 2 tablespoons, to cook our crab cakes in. We're not, deep frying them in that. It's not heavily fried, it's just lightly fried. And of course, that will enhance your flavor as well, and it will help to brown up our crab cakes and give us kind of a crunchy exterior that we're looking for. Sure, things taste great whenever they are deep fried, but this helps us to have a healthier option that's going to be a little bit more heart-friendly for us in the long run, which is a big part of the Mediterranean diet of what we talk about. Some other methods that you could do for doing cooking fish, of course, grilling is great. It's still warm outside, it's still a great time, even cooling off a little bit, starting to cool off a little bit. So cooking on the grill is a really good option. Probably not so much for crab cakes, but any of your whole cuts of fish. So if you're having like a fillet of any type of fish, would be really delicious on the grill. And you can load up the grill. Go ahead and grill a good amount of stuff, and then you can eat on that for the rest of the week. And that will help you to start choosing fish more often into your diet. Another method, oven, you could bake it in the oven. We did it oven baked with the foil packets today, but the oven does a great job. And then also the air fryer is another great option. Air fryer is going to cook a lot faster, so just keep that in mind. Fish does not take long to cook. And what we're looking for an internal temperature with our fish, to know that it is done, that it's killed all the bad stuff, and it's safe to eat, is 145. So you're looking for about 145 for your fish, and once it's reached that, should be good. It could take 3 to 4 minutes in the air fryer, depending on the thickness as well of your fish. So this is going to take a few minutes. We really only want 2 to 3 minutes per side. So I'm going to go ahead and flip one, if I can get to it. They probably needed another minute. So you want to get that nice crispy brown crust on the outside. So I will finish these up, and then I'll just show you guys what they should look like in our final shot. But hopefully this encouraged you to start getting a little bit more seafood into your diet. Great health benefits, easy to do, quick, efficient, all the good stuff that we like when we're trying to think of a meal. So hopefully this encourages you to do that a little bit more often. And we will see you guys back next time on At the Table.